Alright, with the weakness cup only allowing berries and one other item, weakness policy, allowing you to get a +2 attack, +2 special attack after getting hit with a super effective attack. So let's try and look at the top 5 Pokemon that we most likely will see running this item. Now this list is all based off Pokemon that I have seen on Showdown. And then whenever you think about a weakness policy Pokemon, you always want to have something with some bulk, something that can take a super effective attack, get the weakness policy up, and then counter attack. So number 5, let's look at Breloom. Top of Breloom is a grass and fairy type, weak to fire, ice, 4 times weak to poison, weak to flying, and weak to steel. 130 attack, so it's got a solid attack, 115 defense, and 95 special defense. So Breloom is, Breloom can take some hits. The best part about Breloom is you don't really need to worry about its 4 times weak to poison in this competition. There are no poison types, well, at least no good poison types allowed. While I have run into Breloom using Sludge Bomb, chances are you're not going to run into a Breloom running Sludge Bomb in the competition at all. And the only really big threat for Breloom is probably Poison Jab Terrakion and Gunshot Greninja. But other than that, there really aren't any other Pokemon to worry about using any type of poison attack. The bad part about Breloom, and the reason why I have him at number 5, is because the only good spread damage move that it can get is Rock Slide. I mean, it could get Earthquake as well, but you're not going to be running Earthquake with Breloom. And Rock Slide, even though Rock Slide is going to be a very popular move in this competition, it's non-stab, so you'd be better off giving weakness policy to a rock type Pokemon. But a +2 Wood Hammer would pretty much just one-shot everything on the field. But it is only for a single Pokemon. So that's the reason why I have Breloom at number 5. I have run into Breloom with weakness policy. It was able to take out one of my Pokemon with a Wood Hammer, but from there on out you can just take it out. So yeah, that's the reason why. That's the main reason why I have Breloom at number 5, is because it just doesn't have any good spread damage moves other than Rock Slide. But you'd just be better off giving it to a rock type Pokemon. In at number 4, we've got Rhyperior. Rhyperior has some crazy stats. 115 HP and 140 attack. I believe this is the highest of all the rock Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken, with 140. I do believe it is higher than Tyranitar, it's higher than Gigalith, it's higher than Terrakion, way higher than Terrakion. 140 and then 130 physical defense. Now that is good stats, especially if you're going to get hit by a physical attack, a super effective physical attack. You're going to welcome that, especially since Rhyperior is so slow. There's really no point in investing any EVs in speed, so you can make Rhyperior into a very bulky Pokemon. But the downside for Rhyperior is that it only has 55 special defense. That is really low. And then Rhyperior is weak, 4 times weak actually, to water, 4 times weak to grass. It's weak to ice, fighting, and ground, and steel. So fighting, ground, and steel would be the best way to get weakness policy up, since in this competition those are all pretty much going to be physical attacks, and Rhyperior can take physical attacks for days. Unfortunately, you're most likely to run into water, grass, and ice. Abomasnow can just take out Rhyperior. And then there are plenty of grass type Pokemon in this competition: Superior, Sceptile, and then there's Greninja, Slowbro for water type attacks, and all of those moves are special. So Rhyperior just isn't going to be able to take those moves, being 4 times weak to grass and water. And then for abilities, it doesn't have Sturdy. Now, I probably would have used Rhyperior if it had Sturdy, because 140 attack, if I can get up the weakness policy, that's a lot of damage. With Stab, Rock Slide, hit both of your opponent's Pokemon, that is a lot of damage. But unfortunately, it does not have Sturdy. It has Lightning Rod, Solid Rock, and Reckless. All 3 of those just won't help Rhyperior out. If it had Sturdy, Rhyperior would have been a very, very good choice for weakness policy. But being 4 times weak to water and grass, it will be a challenge to get weakness policy up with Rhyperior. At number 3, we've got Abomasnow. Abomasnow is currently the Pokemon that I am using weakness policy with. Now, Abomasnow doesn't really have any like crazy bulk to it, with only 90 HP, 75 physical defense, and then 85 special defense. It doesn't really have much bulk to it, but since I am running it in a Trick Room team, I can invest in more bulk for it and not have to worry about speed, so that's kind of helping out. The biggest problem with Abomasnow, since Abomasnow is a grass and ice type, 4 times weak to fire, the good part about that is that the only real good fire type Pokemon that you're gonna run into is Chandelure. There is Delphox, but I don't really think we're gonna run into many Delphox. Chandelure is definitely the biggest threat for Abomasnow, but since there are so many good rock type Pokemon to pick, you can always help out Abomasnow with the rock type Pokemon. And since Chandelure's physical defense is, I believe, 90, you know, a rock type Pokemon can easily handle Chandelure. But yeah, as long as you make sure that, you know, that the super effective hit that targets Abomasnow isn't a fire, you know, Abomasnow can live so many things. I've been hit with Rock Slide, I've been hit with Mach Punch from a Breloom. Abomasnow can take it, and then you can counter with a +2 Blizzard, and that's the only real reason that Abomasnow is going to be useful in this competition, with the ability Snow Warning and 100% accurate Blizzards. But well, there is close combat, you know, watch out for close combat. But being grass and ice, Abomasnow is weak, 4 times weak to fire. It's weak to fighting, weak to poison, weak to flying, weak to bug, weak to rock, and weak to steel. So it's got a lot of weaknesses, but as long as you can avoid a fire type move and avoid a close combat, Abomasnow can actually live a lot of things, and then counter with a +2 Blizzard, which is what I am currently doing with my Trick Room team on Showdown. And that is the reason why I have Abomasnow at number 3. At number 2, we've got Gigalith. I was using Gigalith with the weakness policy for some time, and Gigalith is just perfect for a weakness policy. It has Sandstream, Sturdy, and Sand Force. Now, it's a good thing that Gigalith has Sturdy, so that pretty much guarantees that you're going to live a super effective attack and get the weakness policy up and counter attack. But when I was using Gigalith, I found that I really didn't need Sturdy. Gigalith just lives so many things. It's got 85 HP, 135 physical attack, and then 130 defense, actually matching Rhyperior's, and then has an 80 special defense. Now, not the best special defense, but 80 isn't bad, and especially since Gigalith has no 4 times weakness to anything. It is weak to water, grass, fighting, ground, and steel, but isn't 4 times weak to any of that. Now, since Gigalith is so slow at 25 speed, I believe Gigalith is the slowest Pokemon in the competition. Now, I haven't looked at every single Pokemon speed, so I'm not sure if Gigalith is the slowest, but so far, out of all the Pokemon that I have seen, Gigalith is by far the slowest. I believe second coming in is Slowbro with 35 base speed, while Gigalith has 25. So there is really no point at all, to invest any type of speed in Gigalith, which means that you can just focus on making Gigalith incredibly bulky. So that's why Sturdy just really isn't useful here for Gigalith. You can use Sand Force if you're going to run a Sand team, or you can just have Sandstream. Sandstream can be very useful as well. So let's say you get the weakness policy up and use Rock Slide with the 135 base attack, and then just land a lot of damage on your opponent's Pokemon. But they live. But you got the Sandstream, so it can kind of chip away at them. So yeah, I would probably prefer Sandstream or Sandforce. If you're running Tyranitar too, you can have Tyranitar have the Sandstream. And, you know, an increase in rock, ground, and steel type moves for Gigalith and getting a weakness policy, that is just a lot of damage right there. And that's the reason why I've got Gigalith in at number 2. Gigalith is just a very good Pokemon to run weakness policy with. And at number 1, Tyranitar. Tyranitar, just the bulkiest, just naturally bulky Pokemon out of this entire list, with 100 HP, 110 physical defense, and 100 special defense. Tyranitar can just take so many hits, get out the weakness policy, and counter with a Stab Rock Slide, Stab Crunch, and 134 physical attack. Not bad. Just shy of tying Gigalith, since Gigalith has a 135 physical attack. Now, take your pick with weaknesses, because Tyranitar has plenty of them. Weak to water, weak to grass, fighting, ground, bug, steel, and fairy. But the bad part is that Tyranitar is 4 times weak to fighting, so you know there are going to be plenty of people running probably mixed Greninja with low kick. And I believe Weavile can learn low kick as well. And then of course you've got Breloom with Mach Punch. Then you've got Terrakions. So while Tyranitar is the best Pokemon in terms of bulk, with just natural bulk, as long as you can avoid getting hit by a fighting type attack, Tyranitar can easily live anything else. And I believe, let's see, other moves that can hit Tyranitar hard, that can be, you know, a problem for Tyranitar, aren't really accurate. You've got Power Whip, which I believe is only 85 accuracy. Hydro Pump, which I believe is around the same. It's 80-85 accuracy. So the only real problem is just fighting type attacks. As long as you can avoid fighting type attacks, Tyranitar can just live, get up the weakness policy, and counter with Rock Slide. If you really want to run Dragon Dance, so let's say you run Jolly Nature Max Speed Tyranitar and you're running Dragon Dance. Let's say you get up a Dragon Dance, get hit. Well, first you get hit by a super effective attack, then you get Dragon Dance. You're at +3 attack. You outspeed your opponent's Pokemon. That would just be crazy. If you can actually get that, if you can get a Dragon Dance and then get weakness policy up, that would be pretty crazy. And I just don't see what your opponent would be able to do right there, unless they have Wide Guard, of course. But yeah, the only biggest flaw for Tyranitar is the fact that it's weak to fighting, 4 times weak to fighting. But as long as you can play around that, you know, and get at the weakness policy, Tyranitar is just the perfect Pokemon. Just with its natural bulk and good physical attack, Tyranitar easily takes the #1 spot.